welcome to my channel. Super excited that you're here for day 5 of 4. For day 4 of my Halloween tutorial series. Like I said in previous videos, I'm doing 2 Halloween tutorials a week, so this is super exciting. Today is day 4, like I just said, and it's the half exposed muscle tutorial. It's one of my favorites because it reminds me of my anatomy days when I was in college, and it's super fun to do, and it only takes a few colors. If you want to see how to do this look, please keep watching.
We're going to start with the Urban Decay Smoky Palette and an angled liner brush. I'm using the color Whiskey. It's my go-to dark brown. Next, we're going to use a water-based white paint and NYX Cosmetics liquid suede lipstick in Cherry Skies. I mixed the two of them together to create a pink base for my face, which is going to be the underlying skin color of our muscle face. Next, we're going to go in with that dark brown color on my Tartist Pro palette, and we're going to start to sketch out all of the muscle lines so that it's going to kind of look like a fill in the blank kind of color by number thing when we're finished with it. It's just going to be easier to follow along with the muscle pattern and make it as close to anatomically correct as possible. I did my very best. I had a reference picture. It didn't come out totally perfect, so don't double check me with an anatomy book, but it was pretty good in my opinion. It came out pretty dang close. So if you follow along with what I'm doing here, yours will come out pretty close too. Next, I'm taking a flat shader brush in the same color that we just used to do all of those lines, and I'm going to start shading in the areas of the muscle that will have darkness and texture to them. So anything that would have a shadow on it naturally, I'm going to start shading in. So go ahead and settle in because this does take a while. Grab your dark colors, just make sure you're going around all of the edges so that each of the muscles have some kind of shadow on them. I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, but here I'm taking a white, that white cream paint that we used in the beginning. I mixed it with a tiny, tiny bit of pink so that it wasn't too white. And I'm starting to do the tendons on the face. So I'm doing them about where they are naturally. Like I said, don't double check me with an anatomy book, but it's pretty close. So you're just going to want to find all those tendons, fill in the spaces where they would naturally go. Just in between muscles to kind of pull them together as best as you can. And like I said, this is the white paint mixed with the tiniest, tiniest bit of pink so that it's not too white that it doesn't look natural. once most of that shading is done, we're going to go back in with that whitish pinky color, and we're going to start highlighting areas of the muscles, usually center areas, areas where the light is going to naturally hit them, and blending that out with a white shadow and a blending brush. So I'm going to take that white cream, splotch it on my face, and then blend it out with a blending brush and a white shadow to kind of give that some dimension and soften it so there aren't any harsh lines there, because it's not supposed to be the muscle strings yet. It's just a lighted, diffused area where light is going to naturally hit those muscles. Next, we're taking a red Ben Nye cream paint and a brown Ben Nye cream paint and a spatula and a little mixer palette, and we're going to create a reddish brown color to put over those areas that we shaded in earlier to add some deepness, depth, and dimension to our muscles. And it's also going to start bringing in that red, bloody red color that we need to make it look realistic and authentic. I don't feel like that's the right word in this scenario, but realistic. And you're going to want to just basically go over all of the areas, oh my gosh, I'm really struggling, areas that we shaded in earlier, and you're going to start flicking up to start creating the muscle strings that naturally occur, because muscles are your face muscles, and everything that is an active muscle in your body is striated, which means it's got little strings and they look like lines going down them. So you're going to want to, like I said, just kind of shade in and then flick up to create those strings. I promise I got my degree in biology. Doesn't sound like it right now, though. I felt like it needed a little bit more highlight, so I went in with a little bit more of that cream white pink base, and I'm just buffing it out with my fluffy brush so that the eye socket has a tiny bit more dimension. Here I'm going to take that reddish brown mixture that we made earlier and start really making a defined line between my glamour makeup and the side of my face that is a muscle. I'm also going to just try to get that cheekbone a little bit more something stripey. But mostly I'm going down my face to really define that line, because the more clear definition you have there, the more of a drastic and neat effect you're going to give your face. So I think it's important to be really defined there, as dark as you possibly can. So now I'm taking a black shadow and mixing it with that paint that I've applied on my face and a little small concealer brush, and I'm just pushing that out so that it starts to blend around the edges. It's going to create this shadow effect, which makes sense because if our skin is peeling away, it's obviously going to leave a little bit of a shadow on our face. So keeping in that realism as much as possible, because while obviously it's not perfectly realistic, it is pretty close, and you want to make that as realistic as you possibly can when painting this on your face. Next, I'm going to take an eyeliner brush with some liquid liner and kind of dab that in. And I'm going to be making the lines of the muscles more defined and going around and making sure that everything that is as dark as possible is as dark as possible. So I'm just going to take that little bit of that liquid liner on that really tiny brush and just add stripes where I feel like I don't have enough definition, and just keep doing that all over my face and adding as much detail as possible until I feel like it's as realistic as possible. Last but not least, you're going to want to take a little bit of a brown shadow and leave a tiny space between the black line of the muscle and your skin, so you've got a little bit of an open space there. And then start the shadow so that it looks like your skin is peeling back. So it should look like somebody is rolling your skin back to reveal the muscle, and that is where it's rolling back. So just take a little tiny concealer brush, get a little bit of that brown shadow on, and then swipe it so that it leaves a shadow-like effect.
Alright guys, well, this is the finished product. I hope that you enjoyed it, that it was fun for you guys to follow along with and watch, and that you learned something cool and new today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. Also, if you have any suggestions for me on what you'd like to see next, for this Halloween tutorial series, please let me know in the comments below as well. I will see you guys next week. Bye!